you're not worthy, rather than guilt, that, you know, you should probably be better at it to get this kind of applause. And in some ways, I think that's what drives us. You know, I kind of feel that, you know. I wish we were better at this.
I also think when we first started out, we were part of a movement called punk rock, which was so anti, not just anti-celebrity, but anti-kind of success, in the sense that if you started to sell lots of records and
you were a sellout.
you were a sellout, and you were kind of had, and we, at a certain point, we looked at that idea and just thought, this is a load of nonsense. Success is something to embrace, but in doing that, we said, well, if we're going to embrace this success and go and be ambitious and be unashamedly ambitious, let's also try and be smart about it, and let's do something more with it than maybe we'd seen other bands in the past. So naturally, it was just a kind of way of how do we, in a sort of funny way, justify being ambitious, justify going after
these big ideas you were talking about,
yeah.
You know, or fantasize whatever you have to do. But then again, like we have this idea of rock, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And then when did it change?
It's wasted on.
Well, sex, yes. Sex, yes.
So sorry about that.
But then
we really, in that sense, we need to work harder. We need to try harder.
But you started talking to us about this committed art, committed music. You know, to commit music and art. Yeah, sounds great. Weren't you worried that if you could be too preachy, or lose fans, maybe, or glamour, or stop being sexy as a band?
You know, if you lose the sex appeal, the cliche of sex and drugs and rock and roll, we can do about it.
Yeah.
But sexiness, who wants to live without that? And all performers are in a flirtatious relationship with their audience. And
it's a seduction process.
It's you know, and it's like a wrestling match. It's like a boxing match. It's like UFC sometimes, and then it's like lovers and other times. And if the message gets too heavy and starts to weigh you down, you get this kind of moral baggage, then we have to jettison some of that, because first of all, we are a hell of a rock and roll band.
And that's your ultimate responsibility, I guess, to be a great rock and roll band.
With heaven in our hearts.
So all these other things, political causes, social causes, philanthropic stuff, it's like a parallel life, or what is it, a parallel role?
I think it's actually very much part of who we are as people, and as artists, we don't feel the need to edit aspects of our lives out of our work. So we touch on issues that other bands wouldn't want to go near, like spirituality as much as politics, social issues. And to us it feels very natural.
You leave out flower arranging.
Yeah, we did. Don't go there. But
tell anyone about flower arranging.
Maybe it's partly because of where we came from. Because in Ireland,
your origins, your background.
In Ireland, there is no within the world of sort of conversation, which is an art form in Ireland. It like, you know, you go into any Dublin bar and you'll sit and a stranger will strike up a conversation, and it'll range from the politics of the Middle East to the, you know, classic writers to whatever else. It's just, that is the way the Irish people are, and I think that's definitely a feature of our work.
Now that you mentioned the Middle East, for example, doesn't it discourage you or disinherit you when all this poverty, corruption all over the world, you know, politicians with their own agenda, personal agenda, private agenda, and not the collectiveness, you know, there's no allies in between all these people that take decision, all the decision makers. How much actually can you do when you see all this? Bono, you've met with everybody.
Be sure of this.
Tell me.
The age that we are in right now
Okay.
is the age of information, information technology, and the internet makes it impossible for people to have a private life. That's a bad thing, but it makes it impossible for the kind of secrets that used to pervade the body politic. I think it's over. I think you see them in the streets of North Africa. Those people are out. They don't just desire to be heard. They want to hear what's being done in their name by their government. And that is as true in, Washington, it's as true in Mexico, it's as true in Ireland. It's like the pyramid is upside down. It's no longer the powerful few at the top. And it's strange that it started in
Power is
Egypt,
given to people.
the pyramid got turned upside down.
Yeah.
The power,
Tunis, Egypt, yeah.
yeah, and this is the new age, and those politicians that still want to hide and have their private agendas, as you describe them, their time is over. It's just a matter of time. Transparency is the syringe, the inoculation for corruption. And in a lot of countries, corruption is not just making a lot of bad people wealthy. It's killing children. It kills more people in Africa than HIV/AIDS, malaria, TB put together. So the inoculation is transparency. Daylight. That is what the people
Democracy,
are marching for. Daylight of democracy.
Democracy.
Freedom.
Yeah.